Happy Monday. Let's get into this. First and foremost, get your ass to the gym, get outside and walk. Go out and be physical, go out and be social, go out and exercise that brain of yours. The reason why I'm telling you this is I'm dressed up for the gym right now. I'm going out there. So hopefully, if you see me, it makes you want to go out there and just go be social. Every day I go out to the park and see my dog pack with my dogs, and I'm a little social. We do a little bit of exercise. We get up and get some vitamin D. Go out and do that. If you know, I was with Compass for a very short while. And the reason why I was this short while is because I didn't like how they controlled everything and they thought they knew how to do business. And for the most part, they do. The problem I had with Compass was that they bought talent. One of the things I thought I liked about it was they had this Compass exclusive. What I learned was the exclusive part is keeping your listing off the market, off the general public, off the thousands, tens of thousands of people that can actually see your house on the internet. And while they think pocket listings is a marketing ploy, I think, and I've said this multiple times to multiple sellers, is that I don't think putting your house on an exclusive coming soon list helps your listing. It doesn't help you get your listing out to the tens of thousands of possible buyers that might be looking for your home. That's why we have the MLS. And even the MLS has a coming soon thing, and I don't like it. I don't like using it because it's not helping you as a seller. It's helping me as an agent to sell your house fast. And what that does is it might not get to the right buyer willing to pay the highest amount of money to it. Okay. Do off-market listings erode trust with consumers, or are they a great marketing tool for sellers? In my opinion, I don't think they are. 22 years experience. I think I know what I'm talking about. Compass has this 3-phase marketing strategy, which means they have this internal list of buyers, which, okay, they want to say that they're another MLS. They're not. They're just a bunch of potential people that haven't pulled the trigger on buying the house yet. And the whole ruse is that you get to see something that's not on market. So as a buyer, you're like, oh, I can go get a deal. If this is a good deal, I'm going to lowball it, right? And then in fact, the way the MLS is set up is you post the price out there and hopefully you priced it correctly. Because if you overprice it, the house is going to sit. But if you price it low, like this weekend, I had tons of people coming in for the open houses and they were asking what the price should be. And I'm like, you got to go talk to your agent. I can't tell you what that price is going to be. Well, do you think it should go lower? I'm like, you need to talk to your agent. And that allows me to set an auction of sorts. So does this help you? I don't think it does. It just seems illogical. Controversy around Compass's private exclusives effort mirrors much of the industry. Wide debates about a clear cooperation policy, blah, blah, blah. The point is, if it's coming soon, you're not going to take that offer. I'll take offers. I'll present it, but I'm going to suggest strongly we wait and see what the market brings us. Because 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, you're going to get better offers as the house matures into the 7 to 15 day realm. After that, the house is overpriced because you probably haven't gotten anything in. So you want to build a buzz, then you want to build a frenzy, and then you want to get the bids and then auction it up and negotiate it up. And that's what you want to do. With private exclusives, you're not going to get multiple offers. You might get one offer, you might get two, but I doubt that because it's not designed that way. And it's the same thing with the coming soon, which is allowing me to sell your house faster without the idea of knowing what a buyer will truly pay for it. Trust's already extraordinarily fragile with agents because the way it's been for 100 years is we put it on the MLS and we wait for buyers to come and tell us what it's worth. A seller does not dictate what the house is worth. The seller decides whether or not the offers that are presented to him or her are good enough. Are you happy with it or not? It's my job to present everything that comes in and negotiate it higher. When you don't have that edge, it's not really an edge because what you're doing is you're building a frenzy within a closed circuit without the MLS, Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, and all these other aggregating companies to really bring in the market. We use that to price the house correctly. You're going to have multiple offers with an exclusive list, you're not going to know what the entire market will deliver. So to me, it's a negative. So the link is in my blog. The blog is linked in the copy down below. So jump in and take a look. And if it's not there, go to abitano.com and you'll be able to get it. 36%, a full third of buyers were investors in California in the first half of 2025. Holy crap. Buyers, get out there and buy. You investors are not afraid of the market crashing. That should be your signal to say it's still a healthy market. If investors are spending tons of money, let me tell you how investors buy property. They don't go to their friends and family and say, hey, can I borrow some money? Then they go to third party or private money or hard money, and then they go, here's my investment. This is what I want. I need to get into this. How do I do it? And they say, okay, it's going to cost you 3 points. And you're going to pay 10, 11, 12, 13% interest. It's a short-term loan. It's not meant to be anything longer than 12, maybe 18 months if it's the way you want it structured, because it has a lot of issues and a lot of work. But 10% versus 7% is huge. On top of that, you're paying 3% up front. So you're really paying for the loan. If it's 10%, you're paying 13%. If 13%, you're paying 16%, which is crazy, but that's how investors are doing it. So they know on the front end they're getting hurt because I need to rehab it. I need to fix it up. I need to make it presentable. I need to have closing costs on the buy end. I have to have closing costs on the sell end, which is what they don't tell you on the HGTV fix and flip shows. All they show you is the potential profit before holding, before closings, all that other stuff. So make sure that you know the numbers before you go into it, because it could hurt you. 36% of purchases statewide were made by investors. What this tells you is that investors are not afraid of the market collapsing. They know that the market will continue to get better. Besides, the fact is that they're waiting for the market to expand again, which is something you should do when the market is slow. If you're in the market to buy a house, albeit 7% interest, when everybody's telling you, oh, the market's going to crash, the market might crash, absolutely. But the point is if investors are spending their money buying properties, why aren't you? They believe that the market will continue to move up. It doesn't matter if it's big or small. For the most part, it's mom and pops, right? 15%. The mega investors were 4%. And the medium size, you're going to get into these guys that are doing this 4 or 5 times a month, right? And that's 8%. I think the mom and pop, the first time investor is going to be the one that buys a house. They're trying to figure out how to do it, and they're probably paying the most closing costs and interest, etc. So that said, if 36% of the buyers out there are investors and you're sitting on the fence, you're waiting for the market to crash, it may crash, but I doubt it. So you should get your ass out there and buy something right now. Okay. Cupertino house of the week, Dunbar Drive, not my listing, $3.9 million, 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 3,100 square feet, and it's right here. If you know where this is, so it's a little north of De Anza, but it's also very close. You still have to drive to Apple if that's where you want to go. But let's take a quick look inside here. Nothing major was redone. A new kitchen. Looks like that's a brand new stove. It could have been a flip. Looks like they just redid the ceilings and put new carpet in. It's funky looking. What are you doing with this picture? This is a flip. And look, they still have the old HVAC. They didn't clean this up. An agent would tell you to clean that up. So they made the front yard pretty-ish, but the backyard's still lacking. There's a place and time for Boca. It's a 1-car garage. And it's detached. Okay, well, it's a nice house, but it's been on market 55 days. Original list price was 4.148. It's down to 3.9. Let's take a look at Blue. That one's still on market. Oh no, this is new. Take a look at Blue, $2.2 million, 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 1,700 square feet, built in 1938. Look at this. You're right next to Lincoln. So you probably have some traffic and parking issues every once in a while, but look, this is old world charm right here. This thing is beautiful. Nicely stayed. And I love the fact that they're starting to do the floor plans. And then luxury home of the week. This one, I'm just going to pick this one right here. Spanish Ranch, Los Gatos Hills. Spanish Ranch Road, $20 million, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,800 square feet. What you're buying is 4 acres in Gatos Hills. And I think this one's going to be on market for a bit because it is way the hell out there. Let's take a look at this thing, see what it's worth. Good luck with that. All right, enough said of that. This episode is brought to you by the Home Buyers Checklist. If you haven't downloaded the checklist and you're going home shopping, make sure you download it. What it does is it allows you to look at all the nooks and crannies of every house. And then when you're at home, you can compare and contrast every house that you went to and see which ones have dual pane, which ones have air conditioning, which ones need a new roof or a new pool. And then you can take those ones and just throw that out. And then the ones that have all that, that's the one you want to buy. Download it. And this week's 12 county Bay Area report, nothing's crazy. We're getting close to $14 billion in sales revenue in Santa Clara County. However, if you look at the volume of new listings, Contra Costa is way up there. Almost 8,900 versus Santa Clara's 8,500. Let's talk about which ones are in contract. Alameda's coming close. Contra Costa's coming close, but Santa Clara County still has 6,000. And this is mid-September look on months of inventory. You'll see that we're at 8, but these numbers don't really mean anything. For example, we're looking at, these are August numbers, and you're seeing Santa Clara at 1.4. So nothing's jumping up and going, oh my God, the world's falling apart. So look at the trend here, because this is until the end of the month, which is 15 days from now. 16 days, these numbers will come back down. Same thing with Blossom Valley. We had 12 closings, new listings, and then we had how many closings?